No, I normally tell you guys not to buy stuff from big box stores and everything, but you get lured in. And I've been looking for a dogwood tree to plant on Gabe's grave for a while. And I found one at Walmart for $24, so I just planted it. I dug a little bit too deep and ran into some of his fur, so I had to fill it back in, which is kind of sad. But I know, at least I know that I've gotten the dogwood on his grave. So I will be getting, I've got it in the hole, I've got it watered in, it looks pretty good. So I'll be getting his headstone out. So his headstone will be out and his grave will be fully marked before his birthday on June 7th. So I'm just gonna water it in real quick. I'm gonna show you where it's at though. Give me 1 second. Here it is. So, that's a nice little tree for $25, $24.94. So I'm happy with it. I hope it does well. But I found it at Walmart, of all places. And I looked up how to plant them, and it says to water them in very thoroughly. And one of the things I'm doing is I'm going to let the water run in, because that helps to pack in air pockets, and then I'm just going to hand pull some of that dirt into the top. It's not sinking, so the air holes are pretty filled in. The water has gone down in there pretty well, so I'm happy with Gabe's tree. Always wanted a dogwood tree. My grandma used to have one, and I love them. They're beautiful. The flowers they get on them are really cool, and they have the crucifixion story with the burnt ends, and the way they curl look like nail holes, so I'm good with that. We have several more trees to plant. We have a new orange tree and a new mandarin orange tree. They haul for the nurseries, like they do the plant runs in the spring, and she got 2 trees for us, so that's nice. And then we've got to get the banana trees planted, the palm trees planted, the peach tree has to go somewhere. Peach trees like it someplace high and dry. So we've got some tree figuring out to do for sure. But I knew where the dogwood was going. That one had a definite purpose, and now I can get his grave area really situated and get the headstone out. Really good friend of the family, after the house fire, ordered us his headstone, and that's really, really nice. And I've been keeping it in the box because I want to get it out, you know, when it's ready to go out, and not when it's in danger of being hit by construction trucks, because that would be devastating. Okay. It's a really nice day. It started off really cold this morning, and then it warmed up, so I had to go take my sweater off. I'm gonna do something really quick to this apple tree, I think. Another thing too is a hive in this box that I have just had sitting here for them to rob out. Well, they've established a hive in there, so I got to get that situated with a bottom board and a lid and all of that so that they can get properly set up. And I want to check and see the queen. So what I'm gonna do is take the golf cart one hive at a time, and I'm gonna put them on the golf cart and drive them back to the new stand and get them in place. I got to check the one that I moved back there yesterday because I don't see very much activity on it, and I'm hoping that they didn't leave and come back here. If they did, I'll just stick this box on top of that one. I don't know. We're gonna see what is going on with these guys too. So what I am going to do is back the golf cart up one box at a time and move these ladies. Neighbor was coming over and spraying the hives previously, so that was our main problem why we moved them. And now she's gone, so they don't need to be up here anymore, and we can turn this into a wildflower patch and get this all cleaned up, get the wood racks moved, lower the fence a rail, and just really clean it up, make it cute. We've got the greenhouse there now, so it's worth tackling this project. So where I've moved them to, and I've kept the hives in the same orientation that they were before, I've just moved them back here. But the one on the bottom that was just a box sideways actually had a queen in it. There were queen cells in there that had hatched, and she is mated. She's back, and they have capped brood and eggs and everything in it. The other hive had brood in it, but a very low bee count, and I didn't see a queen, so I merged the two together because they came from the same hive originally. So I was trying to figure out like what was going on, but because there's like very little bees in that top box, I went ahead and gave it back to that queen and just merged them together. The hives are in the same orientation. Some of the foragers seem to be finding their way here already, so that's good. And they're just gonna be back here from now on. They're at the back of the garden. They're still facing east, so the morning sun will hit the front of the hive and warm it up like it's supposed to. And any new bees that hatch when they do their flight orientation will orient with this location and not the forward location. And you know, they'll be happy. So the only thing I got to do is smoke those foragers that are up front on that other stand to try to, they're probably still going to go there because bees orient with their hive location. They have like a built-in GPS tracking system, which is super cool if you ever really want to study bees and how they're like their makeup and everything. They're pretty neat little creatures. I did get stung a few times. I didn't smoke anybody. I wasn't intending on opening any of the hives. I just wanted to get them moved because this is a project that has been needing to be done for a while. But now that's done. And the only thing I have left to do is to smoke those other ones, just to try to confuse the scent up there. And like I said, it does seem like some of them are already finding their way here because there's bees out in front of each of these hives, but we'll see. We might lose some. There might still be some on the stand tomorrow up front, but we're gonna try to keep that from happening. So I'm gonna go ahead and cut through here. Oh, the hogs really did a number on this back pasture this winter. The wild hogs did. The fig is starting to put out new leaves. We have 2 new orange trees. I got the dogwood planted yesterday. The pomegranate has new growth on it. We've just got to mow out here, get everything kind of cleaned up. We do have some trees to plant though, because eventually one day in our dream, this is gonna be a food forest. Right now, the only tree that I have planted that's not a food tree is the dogwood tree that I planted yesterday on Gabe's grave. The next step for his gravesite will be to get his headstone in place, but again, I don't want to do that until we get this drain field figured out and put in. I hired a company to do it before we even broke ground on the house, and I had to beg, borrow, and steal to get him out here to even, to get the sand delivered, which has been sitting here now getting rained on and grass grown on it. So we've got all this sand that he just delivered it, and he delivered the pipes, and he dug the hole, and he's never been back. And we hired him a year ago, February. So that was my fault. I was so eager just to get it going. I really wanted this new septic and drain field in before we broke ground, because I didn't know, I wanted him to have, without the house being in the way, and the way that the house was looking, it looked like it was going to be in the way, but he hasn't come back. And then in doing my own little research, I kind of found out that he has a criminal history, and he demanded $7,500 to even get on his schedule, and haven't seen him since. So we've kind of gotten, I got took there. I've got a signed contract and everything, but that just goes to show you that just because you sign something doesn't mean that the other person signing it is going to uphold their end of the deal. So I have to look into what our recourse is for that. So the drain field is not finished. We've hit a snag with the electrical being close to $7,000 more than what was kind of roughly verbally quoted, which we expected it to be like maybe a couple $1,000s more than what was verbally quoted, but not $7,000, especially with us digging the trench for the conduit to go underground, and then also with us like putting in all of the backing, not having them hang any fans. We're just going to put up basic lights. Like, there's a lot that we were going to be doing to try to lower the cost, and we're just kind of hosed on that one too right now. So we're trying to figure that out as well. I have a bee following me. I'm just riding this way to go get a lighter so I can light my smoker. And anyway, I'm gonna cut it here. That's the end for this video, and I'm just gonna flip this around real quick. So yeah, so I'm gonna cut this video here. I'm gonna let it go, and I'm gonna go get busy. I'm gonna go light the smoker and smoke those bees that are up front, try to get them gone from there so that we can start working on getting everything put back, or get everything set the way we want it. Yeah, that's it. This took several days for this project, but that's okay. Thanks for hanging out with me while I move my bee yard. Hopefully I can pay more attention to them now, especially since they're not going to be near the house. So if there are any workers, that was my problem last summer. The framers were here like every single day from July until September. And they had equipment and they were banging and hammering and making so much noise that I didn't want to mess with the bees because I didn't know if anybody was allergic, and I did not want that to be an issue. So now with them being moved to the back, I'll be able to work them even if somebody's here without having to worry about causing a problem. One of those fish diving birds just landed on the pond. One of the black ones with the long neck that goes under to fish. That's kind of cool. We get all kinds of wildlife back here. But anyway, so let's hope for a good bee year this year. And thanks for hanging out with me, guys. I know this is kind of a long video. And I hope to